Bangabandhu's speech of March 7 is still inspiration to take the country forward, said Prime Minister. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has left for Abu Dhabi this afternoon on a 5-day official visit to the United Arab Emirates. Bangladesh recorded more 4 deaths from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. More 436 people tested positive. And day and night temperature may rise slightly over the country, forecast Met Office. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to myTV News. I'm Farhan Yasmin with you in the newsroom today, watching headlines. Now the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today said the historic March 7 speech of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, is still an inspiration to take the countries forward. The Prime Minister was addressing a ceremony as the chief guest, marking the historic 7 March speech of Bangabandhu, joining virtually from her official Gana Bhavan residence today. She also expressed her optimism that none can confuse the new generation about the true history of the liberation war, as the world is now open to them for technological advancement, monitoring that Bangladesh is advancing ahead and will forward further. The Prime Minister said the 7th March speech of the Father of the Nation will encourage all to achieve the goals. Prime Minister and Awami League President Sheikh Hasina said her government has been monitoring the recent price hike of some essential to check anomalies. The Prime Minister said this while presiding over a discussion organized by the Awami League at its Bangabandhu Avenue Central Office here, marking the historic 7 March speech of the Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, joining virtually the discussion from her official Gana Bhavan residence. She said prices of some goods might have increased in the country, which is usual when the prices of essential are increased in the international market. The local market has also to face its impact. The prices of goods have been increasing across the globe due to the economic meltdown for the double blows such as coronavirus and Russia invasion on Ukraine, said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today paid rich tribute to the Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, on the occasion of the historic March 7. She paid the homage by placing a wreath at the portrait of the Father of the Nation in front of Bangabandhu Memorial Museum at Dhanmondi 32 of the capital. Tributes were paid by various organizations including Awami League. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has left for Abu Dhabi this afternoon on a 5-day official visit to the United Arab Emirates. The Premier is scheduled to arrive at Abu Dhabi International Airport at 10:15 p.m. local time and to be welcomed at the airport by the Ambassador of Bangladesh and a high-level representative of UAE government. During the visit, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will hold meetings with the top leaders in the UAE. Besides, Prime Minister Rashid Al Khaimah will lay the foundation stone of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Bhavan of Bangladesh English Private School and College. During the visit, Bangladesh may sign 4 MOUs with the country. The Prime Minister is scheduled to return home on March 12. The death toll from coronavirus has reached 29,089. In Bangladesh, has 4 more people died from the disease in the last 24 hours. Besides, 436 more tested positive for the virus, raising the number of such cases to 19,47,702. Directorate General of Health Services confirmed the information through a press release today. Bangladesh Meteorological Department today predicted through its bulletin that day and night temperature may rise slightly over the country. The Met Office also forecasted that weather may remain dry over the country in the next 24 hours. The country's maximum temperature on Sunday was recorded by 34 degrees Celsius at Shitakund, Cox's Bazar and Teknaf in the Chattogram division, and the minimum temperature today was recorded by 13.2 degrees Celsius at Srimongol in the Zilla division. Viewers, now international news. Russia announced a ceasefire starting Monday morning and the opening of humanitarian corridors in several areas a day after hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian civilians attempting to flee to safety were forced to shelter from Russia shelling that permanent city in Ukraine's center, north and south, as Ukrainian officials described a catastrophic situation during failed evacuation efforts in Kyiv suburbs, and officials from both sides also planned a third round of talks today. A Russia task force said a ceasefire would start Monday morning, the 12th day of the war, for civilians from the capital Kyiv, the southern port city of Mariupol, Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, and Sumy. It wasn't immediately clear if fighting would stop in the areas mentioned in the task force statement or when the ceasefire would end. The West is resorting complex tactics to increase pressure on Putin, but ignoring that, the Russian president has announced that he will continue to attack Ukraine until the demands are met. Moscow also announced a halt to attack to evacuate people from other Ukrainian cities, including Kyiv. Meanwhile, under the pressure of this war, the whole world is seeing the shadow of the crisis in the second prices of fuel and food products. Yasir Arafat has more.
Ukrainian government has confirmed that
while Western's defense experts say the Russian invasion of Ukraine is not proceeding as Putin's planned, the Russian president retorted that the invasion of Ukraine is proceeding according to plan and schedule. At the same time, he warned that the Russian military operation would continue until Russia's demands were met.
Stop shelling so women, children.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian defense officials have warned that the Russian forces are preparing for an all-out attack on the capital Kyiv.
of indiscriminately targeting the residents.
With tanks and armored vehicles, various infantry are advancing or Irpin, town near Kiev. Russian forces have already begun bombing Irpin. Residents have started leaving Irpin to escape the attack. It is expected the groundwork for the Kiev attack will be laid from here.
Men have been queuing up to sign up.
The Russian military is trying to lay siege on the eastern cities of Kharkiv, Chernihiv, Sumy, and southern cities of Mykolaiv.
President Vladimir Putin says
Meanwhile, in the midst of ongoing war, Moscow has announced a halt attacks to evacuate people from other Ukrainian cities, including Kiev. The representatives of Russia and Ukraine are going to sit in the third round of peace talks today.
President Vladimir Putin says
On the other hand, analysts fear that the Ukraine-Russia war could lead to a record rise in global fuel and food prices. In this, the world is seeing the shadow of a future crisis.
President Vladimir Putin says
Yasir Arafat, MyTV News Desk.
President Vladimir Putin.
A couple got married on the front lines adorned in military uniform and serenaded by soldiers in Ukraine. A loved pair said to be called Lysia and Valerie, who are with the territorial defense celebrating their marriage near Kiev. Zubair Rahman has more.
A beautiful couple in military uniform creating an atmosphere of love and serenaded by a soft wedding tune. This is a love story from a toppled Kiev, which is under siege by the Russian military invasion. Lysia can be seen holding a bouquet of flowers as both her and Valerie holds champagne flutes. Both the newlyweds were applauded and the bride looks to have swapped out her helmet for a white veil as she smiled and held Valerie's hand.
Потрібно жити сьогоднішнім днем, це те, що завжди говорять, але мало хто.
A group of fellow soldiers joined in a chorus to the couple, with one man playing what appears to be a bandura, a Ukrainian folk musical instrument similar to a lute. One of the soldiers also appears to be wearing an Orthodox Christian cross, often seen at weddings in the country where the religion is followed by a majority of people. The ceremony ended with kisses, love and joy. Apart from the brutality of war between countries, people want peace to live, not war. The lovely couple has proved that everything is fair in love and war. Zubair Rahman, MyTV News Desk.
We are about to end the headlines once again. Bangabandhu's speech of March 7 is still inspiration to take the countries forward, said the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has left for Abu Dhabi this afternoon on a 5-day official visit to the United Arab Emirates. Bangladesh recorded more of 4 deaths from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. More 436 people tested positive. Day and night temperature may rise slightly over the country, forecasted Met Office. Russia announced a ceasefire starting today morning and the opening of humanitarian corridors in several cities of Ukraine. Bangladesh lost their second match of the Women's Cricket World Cup by 9 wickets with New Zealand. Thanks for being with us. To join with MyTV News online, visit YouTube/MyTV News. To watch all our programs, visit YouTube/MyTV Bangla, Facebook/MyTV Bangla. Our next bulletin will be telecast 7:30 p.m. Stay connected. Allah Hafiz.